Hi, this is Sniz with Bloodbane, World 11, Lord of Ultima. This is part 2 of my tips for DuhKnights in terms of how to make effective plundering and psychological warfare work for you. My second tip for you, I'd already mentioned the importance of sending scouts. Make a few scouts, send a few scouts, get a little information. Only one person scouted only one of my cities the entire time I've been sitting here. Wouldn't you like to know what I'm doing in there? Wouldn't you like to know which of the resource cities, what might be the hub, what might be the transport city? That might help you later time your attacks a little bit better to maybe eke out a little bit in the way of resources. I'd be, quite frankly, a little more nervous right now if I felt like you guys had more information about what's going on in there. You've already spent the money, the gold and iron and whatnot to send all those troops. Throw a few scouts in the mix, get some information for yourself, see if it helps you. It probably won't, but at least it has a better chance. Makes me work a little harder for this. The other thing that I wanted to mention, back to the troop selection, I guess tip 3 would be select the right troop. Don't send troops that are massively expensive on what is almost definitely going to be a fail plunder. You're much better off sending your cheapest possible troops. I'd suggest Zerkers only at this stage. But, you know, once you know what I'm defending with and whatnot, you might mix up to different kinds of troops. But it's a losing battle, losing 6-1. If you're not going to get any plunder, the best you're going to do is keep me shuffling and worried a little bit, which will slow my progress just a little bit. You guys have been just a little bit of a speed bump, but you're not doing much, so don't make it too expensive for yourself. The other tip that I'd like to give you has to do with timing. If you're going to send multiple attacks from multiple players and I know you guys don't quite have the communication we do, but at least when it's from the same player, if you're going to send multiple attacks from multiple locations, make sure they hit right. Because basically what you're doing is you're sending staggered attacks at their arrival times, and you're hitting one city, and then hitting another city 20 minutes later, and another city 35 minutes later, another city an hour later. Literally, you're meeting my entire defensive force at every city, because you're giving me time to shift my defenses from city to city to city to provide support. You're far better off sending attacks against all targets at once and at least forcing me to split my defenses, because I had very minimal defenses, but I was able to make them very effective against your weak forces by simply giving me the time to shift. So if you're going to send multiple attacks to 3 or 4 different cities at once, time them so they're going to arrive at the same time. Don't give me time to shift my support troops back and forth and back and forth. Anyway, hope that helps. There's not a lot you guys are going to be able to do. Quite frankly, if you're really interested in being effective players and long-term winning this game, my first piece of advice to you is get the hell out of DuhKnights, or possibly restructure a little bit for different leadership. But I can tell you right now, Sir Greens is not the guy who's going to lead you to an end game of any success. He's involving you in unnecessary skirmishes early in this game. His long-term strategy is uber fail. There's some remnants of some thought in there, but for the most part, you guys are spreading yourselves way too thin. You're not going to be able to be very effective anywhere. And I do understand the need to, secure multiple locations, but you guys have gone way too far the other side of spreading yourselves too thin. So a little bit of friendly advice. I typically don't like giving help to the enemy, and so far you guys have established yourselves as our enemy. But hey, I'd like to have a little bit of fun here, and at this rate, it's not going to be much fun. So why don't you guys step up your game? If you want to have a war, step up your game and do it right. If you don't have a war, bail on that fail alliance, or restructure and get rid of Sir Greens and put one of your better players, a little more diplomatic, a little more thoughtful, a little more mature in place. And, who knows, we might be friends someday. But as of right now, we are enemies, and the further this goes, the more it's going to hurt in the long run. So thank you for watching, for those that might have watched, and I hope the tips actually helped you, because they are legitimate. I really am trying to give you a little bit of good advice. So thanks, enjoy your game.